All right, my loves, so we're gonna be looking at this problem, the riding the bus to school. I want you to try to solve it on your own and then come back and see if your answer matches mine. So go ahead and pause the video and try it out yourself and then come back. So the graph shows the number of students at 5 schools who ride the bus. Based on the graph, how many students ride the bus to Woodlands, Hillcrest, and Lakeview schools? So in order to figure that out, what you are going to do is figure out how many kids ride the bus to Woodlands. And so if I look at my graph, I see that's 250. So I know I have 250. And then I'm gonna look at Hillcrest. Those kids, it's about 225 because it's halfway in between. So I have 225. And then to Lakeview schools, I'm gonna look here and that's 300. So I've got to add them together because I wanted to know how many, and I have this and, so I know I'm going to put them all together. So I don't care how you group to add these, but this is what I would do. I would add 250 plus 300, and that would give me 550. And then I would add my 225 to that. Now again, I don't care how you did it, as long as you get to the same answer. 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. So I know 775 students rode the bus to school from those schools. Now it says, based on the information in the graph, which of the following statements is true or are true? Now these are the ones that we really struggle with because we don't check all of the answers. So make sure you're going through each one. Woodland Heights has 250 more students riding the bus each day than Elm Grove. Well, let's look at Woodland Heights. They have 250 students. And then Elm Grove has 150. Well, if Woodland Heights, what the problem or the question's asking you is saying that Woodland Heights has 250 more. When I see more, it wants me to subtract. Well, if I subtract 150 from 250, I'm going to get 100. So this statement isn't true, so that one doesn't work. Woodland Heights has 100 more students riding the bus each day than Elm Grove. So look at Woodland Heights, they're at 250. Elm Grove was at 150, we figured that out earlier. When we say more, we want to subtract. 250 minus 150 is going to give me 100. So this is a true statement, but you're not done, my children. You need to check the rest. Elm Grove has 150 more students riding the bus than Woodland Heights. Well, Elm Grove is at 150. And we know Woodland Heights is at 250. When we see the word more, we have to subtract. Well, I haven't even taught you how to take 250 away from 150, so that can't be right. And then Elm Grove has 100 more students riding the bus each day than Woodland Heights. So again, Elm Grove has 150 students. Woodland Heights has 250 students. And when I see the word more, I know I'm going to subtract. Well, that doesn't make sense. I haven't taught you how to take 250 away from 150, so that can't work. Your correct answer, my dear, should have been B. Now, do you see how I went through and I calculated and figured out the answers to each one of the situations that they gave me? This is proving or justifying my answer, and this is what I expect to see in your work, especially with some of these graphs. The graphs are going to ask you questions like this, and you're going to have to go through and check each statement. So I expect to see this when you're looking at graph work. So what I want you to do is I want you to label this at the top of your page, problem solving. And you're going to label it 2 dash, what's today's date? Oh, Cheyenne took my camera back. 2-23.
It's the 22nd.
Tomorrow will be the 23rd, Cheyenne.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that? She was trying to tell me. Anyways, fold it in half, glue it into your math notebook, and then you may go to the next activity.